Hi friends, it's Kamal and you're watching Maths by Jajoria. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel. In this video, I will explain the linear simultaneous equations and quadratic simultaneous equations. Okay, so the first, let's talk about linear simultaneous equations. So in the linear simultaneous equation, you have two unknowns and have one set of values that will make a pair of equations true at the same time. So let me explain to you. So you have here these two linear equations. Okay. The solution to this pair of simultaneous equation is x equal to 5 and y equal to 2. Right. So what exactly that means? In the next example, we will get the value, obviously. However, just to make the one set of value that will make a pair equations true at the same time, what I will do now to insert the x and the y value in these linear equations. So here you have x5 and y equal to 2. Okay, so you got x5 plus y is 2. Okay, and that gives us 11. So 11, and here x plus 3y is also 11. Okay, now linear equation simultaneous equations can be solved using a elimination or substitution. So let's back this by example. So we have here 2x plus 3y, which is equal to 8, and we have 3x minus y equal to 23. Right? So what we need to do here, let's give this, so this is equation 1 and equation 2. Okay, what we need to do now to multiply the equation 2 by 3. Okay, so that to get 3y in each equation. So simply here what I'm really doing is that I'm trying to get 3y in the both equations. Okay, so here multiply equation 2 by 3. Okay, to get 3y in each equation. So this equation, that will become 9x minus 3y equal to 69. So this equation is 0, 3. Okay, so this is the new equation now, equation 3. Okay, got that? Now, then what we do, we add equation 1 and 3. So, okay, so what I'll do, I will write this equation and this equation. Okay, because this is the new equation as we have multiply this equation by 3, equation 2 by 3. So we got here 2x plus 3y equal to 8. And what is over equation 3? This is 9x minus 3y equal to 69. Right? So we add this. So that will cancel. Minus 3y and plus 3y. That will cancel that, yeah? And here you get your 77. and here you got your 11x, and here nothing. So what you got here, you got where 11x equal to 77. 11x equal to 77, and your x would be 77 divided by 11, which is equal to 7. So x is equal to 7. Okay. Substitute the x equal to 7 into equation 1 to find y. Okay. So then you write here, substitute x equal to 7 into equation 1 to find y. Okay. So here your equation 1, 2x plus 3y equal to 8. So you got here 2, x is your 7 plus 3y equal to 8. 14 plus 3y equal to 8. So we need to get y. Yeah, we have to find y. And your y would be what? Minus 2. Okay. So y is your minus 2. So the solution to this linear simultaneous equation is x equal to 7 and y equal to minus 2. What you can also do, if you insert these values back into the equation, you can always check that. So remember to check your solution by substituting into equation 2. So that's your equation 2. Yeah. So that's your equation 2. These are the value. So when you substitute in there, you will see that you will get 23. Okay. So let's do this one. So you have here, okay, so let's substitute the value here. Right, so you got here 3x minus y equal to 23. Yeah, so let's substitute the value here. You got here 3, your x is 7, minus your y is minus 2. Yes, so that will give us 21, this 21, and then this will is your plus 2, that is equal to 23. Yeah, so you see here 23 here, and here also 23. Okay, so let's go back to the equation here where it says linear simultaneous equation in two unknown have one set of values that will make a pair of equations true at the same time. So solution to the pair of that simultaneous equation, we have got this. Okay. Let's do another example. Before I finish this, just to note that you could also multiply equation 1 by 3 and equation 2 by 2 to get 6x in both equations, and then you could then subtract to eliminate x. Okay, so it's just the two solutions I gave that could be possible, so you could have done that as well, right? Okay, so let's get another example. Here we have 4x minus 5y equal to 4. And let's say this is equation 1, and then we got 6x plus 2y equal to 25, and that is equation 2. Okay, multiply equation 1 by 3 and multiply equation 2 by 2 to get 12x in the each equation. Okay, so as you saw in previous one, that we only multiply one equation. Okay, however, it's not possible, I would say sometime or most of the time, to just doing one equation, multiplying one equation with some number. However, sometimes you have to just play around with the both equations by multiplying with the different number. Okay, so in this one, you will multiply equation 1 by 3. Okay, and you will multiply equation 2 by 2. Okay, so let's see what we get here. Okay, so multiply equation 1 by 3. Okay, so that's your equation 1. Yeah, and you have to do this by 3. So you got here 4. Sorry, that you will get here, multiply with 3. That will, let's do it this way, make easier for you. So that will give us 12x minus 15y equal to 12. Okay, however, because you multiply this with the 3, this equation is now will be labeled as 3. Then it says multiply equation 2, this equation, by 2. So let's do this. So you got here multiplying this equation by 2. So now you got 12x, then you got plus 4y equal to 50, and this equation now is equation 4. Okay, so remember that if you do this way, multiply the both equation by any number, just to ensure that you label that equation as a new equation. Okay, cannot have that old equation, cannot be continue with that. So subtract this now. Okay, so you can subtract this number. So you see, subtract, since the 12x term have the same sign, both positive. So okay, so what you need to do here, you need to subtract that. Okay, so I can write down here the subtraction sign. Only then it will be possible that you cancel this out, which means that plus 12x and then minus 12x. Okay, only that way you can eliminate this. Okay, however, you see, because you have changed the sign here, minus for the whole equation, say this equation, okay, you will see that you need to do minus sign to this as well. You need to give minus sign to minus, so this was plus 4y, so you have to give this minus 4y now, and also to this as well. So these, by doing so, you changing the sign for the whole equation. Okay, and that's why you got minus 12x minus 4y, sorry, and equal to minus 50. Then you will be able to solve this. You cannot just do minus 12x but leaving the rest with the same sign. You cannot do that. That will be incorrect. Okay, so this is minus, that minus as well. So minus 15y, and then you got minus 4y. That will give you minus 19. y. Make sense? Then you have 12 minus 50, okay, because we change sign, and that will give us minus 38. Got it? Yeah. And then after this, you can also just say, change the sign. You can eliminate the both side and just can have positive side. Okay, as you know, you can do that. And then you got y, which is equal to 2. Okay. Yeah, clear so far? All right. Now it's pretty simple. So what you need to do now, substitute the value y equal to 2 into the equation 1. So what is your equation 1? This is your equation 1. Okay, that's your equation 1. So what I do, I just bring this equation here. So your equation 1 is 4x minus 5y equal to 4. Okay, and y is equal to 2 here. So you got 4x minus 5, y is equal to 2. So substitute that to 4. Yeah. Got here 4x is equal to 4. You take that to there, plus 10. So 4x is equal to 14. And when you calculate that one, that will give you, okay, you can solve this. So that will give you these answers. So this is your x and this is your y. So the solution to this linear equations. So you write down the solution is x equal to and then the y is your equal to 2. Okay, so these are the two values you got. Right. So this is the linear equation. Now I'm just going to move on to solve simultaneous equation. Let me clear this first. Yeah, okay, so it's clear now. To solve simultaneous equation involving one linear equation and the one quadratic equations. So one linear and one quadratic equation. What you need to use a substitution method from the linear equation into quadratic equation. Okay, so remember this. Simultaneous equation with one linear and one quadratic equation can have up to 2 pairs of solutions. So remember this. You need to make sure the solution are paired correctly. Okay, so this is how we will work on it. Okay, but remember that because one equation is linear and another is quadratic, they can have up to 2 pairs of solutions. Right, so let's write the equations then. X equal to 2y equal to 3. So let's label this as a 1. And then you got, this is the linear one, and then your quadratic is x square plus 3xy equal to 10. And that's label this as a equation 2. Okay. So with the equation 1, we can write, this was x, I put here x plus 2y equal to 3. I just use the equal sign. Oh, sorry about this. So x plus 2y okay, equal to 3, x square plus 3xy equal to 10. Okay, so your x here with this equation, linear equation, x equal to 3 minus 2y. Okay, so we just what we done here, we just rearrange the linear equation. Yeah, 1 to get x. Okay, so linear equation 1 to get x equal to whatever you get. Okay, or you could have done y also. Okay, so you could have done y as well, or here you could have done y, or you could have done here x, whichever way. But what we done this time is x. So we rearrange linear equation 1 to get x. Okay, so this is what we done. Now the next step is that you substitute this into quadratic equation 2. So the value of x, what you do, you substitute this into quadratic equation 2. Okay, this one. Okay, so let's see what we will get when we do this. We get 3 minus 2y whole square plus 3y, and in your bracket you have 3 minus 2y. Okay, so the 3y multiplied with, in bracket we have 3 minus 2y, and that is equal to 10. Got it? So simply we just we substitute this value into your quadratic equations. So that is your quadratic equation, and this is what we got after substituting this value into. Okay, so once you have this, you need to just simplify this equation now. So let's see how we do this. So let's open this one here. First we open this, okay, and that will give us 9 minus 12y plus 4y square. Okay, and as you know, most of you know, that's it's simply like if you have x minus y and then it's whole square of this, that can be written as like what, x square minus 2xy, yeah, plus y square. Okay, so this is exactly what we have done here. Okay. Right, then simplify further. Okay, so that will give you 9y minus 6y square equal to 10. Okay, now here there's things you can cancel. Okay, so you got here plus y square and minus 6y square, so we can simplify that, and also here we got 9y, and you got here minus 12y, and obviously we have here number 9 and here 10. We can come to that as well. Okay, so let's simplify this first. So here we go with the y square first. So this will give us minus 2y square. Okay, so it's plus y plus 4y square minus 6y square. That will give us minus 2y square, right? Then we can simplify y, which is minus 12y, and you got plus 9y. That will give us what? Minus 3y. Okay, then you got 9 here, so you can write down plus 9 here, and because that was equal to 10, bring this side, that will be minus sign, that will be minus 10, that will be equal to 0. So, okay, so then now we can simplify this as well. So you got minus 2y square minus 3y, okay, and that is your here minus 1 equal to 0, right? Okay, now as you know, we can change all the sign, okay, just to make it easier for you. So you have here minus 2y square minus 3y minus 1 equal to 0. We can simply write by changing the sign to 2y square plus 3y plus 1. Okay, so it's just like to make it easier for you to factorize. Now you need to factorize this. So that will be the factorization now. Those who are not sure how you do this, I have my previous videos on that as well, on factorization, so please watch that. Okay, however, I will still factorize in this video as well. Okay, I mean I could have just write the equation after the factorization, but I can just still do this. I suppose I can do that, right? So to factorize this, you 2 and you multiply with this one, so you have to get the product of that number should be 2, and when you add that number, that should give you 3. Okay, so product could be like 2 multiply 1, that will give you 2, and then when you add 2 and 1, that will give you 3. Okay, so let's simplify this. 2y square plus 2y plus y plus 1 equal to 0. Okay, so these are 2y and 1y. So 1 is y or 1y, same thing. Now let's simplify this as well. So you got 2y, you can take that out, and this will give you y plus 1 here, and then you can have plus 1 here, and that will give you y plus 1 here, that is equal to 0. As I always say that, just to ensure that, just to make sure that that should be same, y plus 1, y plus 1. Okay, and now simplify further, that will give you this. Okay, then from here you can have y value, that will be equal to here, that will be equal to minus, okay, let me just write down this. So 2y plus 1 equal to 0, or y plus 1 equal to 0. Okay, so here you got y equal to minus 1, so it's minus half, yeah, or you got here y equal to minus 1. Okay, so you got this value now, y value here. Okay, so once you got this, you need to find the corresponding x values by substituting the y values into the linear equation. Okay, so you got the y values here. Okay, so what you will do, you will substitute the y values into linear equation. Okay, which is the equation 1. Okay, so your linear equation is here. This is your linear equation, x plus 2y equal to 3. Okay, right, so should be pretty simple now. So you got here your linear equation, which is x plus 2y equal to 3. Okay, and this can be written as x equal to 3 minus 2y. Okay, right? Now your first y value here is minus half. Okay, so let's insert this one first. X equal to 3 minus 2, and the y value is your minus half. Okay, so this will give us plus 1. So you got x equal to 3 plus 1, which is equal to x equal to 4. Okay, so when your y value is minus half, your x equal to 4. Okay, so let's write down the first solution. So solutions are when your x equal to 4 when your y equal to minus half. Okay, so this is one solution you got. Now you still have one more solution to find out. Right, so I suppose I can do this here. Your y equal to minus 1. So now we will have y equal to minus 1. So y equal to minus 1. Okay, so same thing in this equation, linear equation, we insert this value, and that will give us x equal to 5. Okay, so another one, x equal to 5 when y is equal to minus 1. Okay, so these are the solutions. Okay, now as I go up here where it says to solve simultaneous equation involving one linear equation and one quadratic equation, this is what you had here. What we need to do to use a substitution method from the linear equation, and this is exactly we did. We use the linear equation as a substitution method into the quadratic equation. So, okay, so that's what we done here. Then it says simultaneous equation with one linear and one quadratic equation can have up to 2 pairs of solution, and this is what we had here as well, the 2 pair of solution we had here. Okay, and it says you need to make sure the equations are paired correctly, so that we done as well here when we inserted the value of y. So when we inserted the value of y into this equation, that was half, we had a value of x equal to 4. So we paired that correctly. And when we done value of y equal to minus 1, then we got x equal to 5. So that is paired correctly. Okay. Now do me a favor, if you find this video informative, please like and subscribe this video. Okay, as I always say that when you subscribe, it just motivates me to make more videos. Be sure to click that like button and drop your comments if you have any questions. I will do my best to reply. Thank you.